and
Nyala nggak, Bang?
welcome our esteemed guest, Professor Lutfi Abdul. He is highly esteemed figure in the field of translation and linguistics. Professor Lutfi completed both master and doctoral studies in linguistics and translation in Universitas Basmara, where he graduated as the fastest and best graduate at 2018. He currently serves as a professor and a member of the Academic
Kan banyak tim,
Senate
Mal.
at Universitas Negeri Mas Said Surakarta.
Oh, Professor Murphy's contribution to the academic world are remarkable. His scholarly works include 14 publications indexed by Scopus and 10 by Sinta, along with many others that continue to shape the field of linguistic and translation studies both in Indonesia and beyond. So, without further ado, let us open our mind as we listen to the insight and knowledge that Professor Lutfi will graciously share with us today. Give a round of applause to Mr. Lutfi.
Okay. Is it clear? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but maybe you can speak a bit louder, Pak, because
Okay,
your voice is too low for us. Yeah, thank you.
okay. Allow me to share the screen first, yeah. Is it clear now? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's much better now. But
Okay,
maybe you can share the screen. We'll wait for
okay,
our staff to set up the volume and everything here.
okay. Thank you so much. Can you make me a co-host so I can share my presentation?
Ah, okay. Yeah, please wait a moment.
Iya, di dalam nggak ada suara. Ya, di dalam nggak ada suara.
Can you give me a co-host so I can share my presentation?
Okay, yeah,
Is it clear now? Is it clear?
yeah, it's much better now. Maybe you can share the screen while we wait for our staff to set up the volume and everything here.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a co-host so I can share my presentation?
Okay, yeah,
Is it clear now? Is it clear?
yeah, maybe you can share the screen while we wait for our staff to set up the volume and everything here.
Thank you so much.
Iki nak
Can you
screen
give
icon,
me
Pak.
a co-host so I can share my
Sama
presentation?
sebentar ya.
Okay, yeah,
Is it clear now? Is it clear?
yeah, it's much better now. Maybe you can share the screen while we wait for our staff to set up the volume and everything here.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a co-host so I can share my presentation?
Okay, yeah, it's much better now. Maybe you can share the screen while we wait for our staff to set up the volume and everything here.
Can you give me a co-host so I can share my presentation?
Mek sing sebelah kananku kene tok sing nyala, sing kiriku kene gak nyala. Son kene gak nyala, son kene. Son kene gak nyala.
Okay, can we start it now?
Okay. Okay, Pak Lutfi, we are sorry because it seems that we are facing some technical difficulties here. Please wait a
Okay,
bit until
that's fine, Ibu.
our staff solve the problem. Yeah, we are sorry for the
Okay,
inconvenience. Yeah, thank you, Bapak.
it's okay. Okay, okay.
Pak Lutfi, can you try speaking? Because we
Okay,
want to check whether the students can hear your voice.
okay. Is it clear?
Okay, I don't think that. Yes. Okay. Can you try again, Pak?
Okay, test, test. Can you hear me?
Uh, Wait a bit, Pak. Wait a minute.
Okay, guys. Yeah, really sorry about that. It seems like we have some technical difficulties, and the staff is still working on it. So please be very quick. And then when we are waiting, how about we just discuss a bit about your expectation after you see this video? Do you have any kind of expectation? Do we have any gamer here? Waktu saya ngomong gamer itu kan berarti Candy Crush kan? Nomornya something that is more advanced. And then what's the game that you have been playing and what? Do you usually play games in your phone or in your laptop? Phone semua. Have you ever tried when you will play in your phone? Okay, so spoiler. If you download the Google Play in your laptops, especially the Google Play something I don't know. So they have a new project in which you can be a beta tester. Yeah? So you can try further out at home. If you like playing games, you like to be a beta tester, try accessing the Google Play and also the things in your laptop and then you can be a beta tester. The beta tester has many different options later on for you to choose. Yeah? So there are so many benefits you can see when they are not in the public. So that's what we are going to talk about the normalization. Normalisasi dalam arti lain. Tapi normalisasi dalam arti translation in the translation industry. What do you expect? Gimana? Sempat baca nggak sih? Sebelum kita kelas? When we see the word normalization, what do you expect? It is the other meanings, or it is the meaning in the translation industry. Gimana? Ada yang punya ekspektasi? Atau ya saya terpaksa aja sih kan karena disuruh kan dengan tersebut. Or do you think something like this? Gimana? Ada ekspektasi? Kita bakal lain. Ya. Jadi kita sambil menunggu technical difficulties. So you will get the point that Pak Lutfi is explaining to you adalah selain what? So here's what I'm using here some elements to just circuit. Thank you. Yeah. So we have adapting things, adapting some terms, the translation to the market function. Okay, that's a good idea. Is the difficulty solved here? I think not yet, so let's just go. So you can come here for nothing. So localization, just like a insight, we have a deeper translation. When you localize something, the localization comes from the word localization. So when we will be learning how localization, we will be learning how to make things local. Yeah. And examples of outside the translation industry. Yeah, right. As you can see,
Bisa iki tambah. Volume udah di up lah. Sing sebelah kananku ini gak kurang suara pelan.
McDonald's in other countries? No. Yeah. Anyone has ever been to Singapore before? Singapore? Thailand? Any Thailand?
Suaranya mal.
That's how you do it.
Suara mic kira tuh gede. No, iso.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Because we have to use more days and more
Suara
days
mic
to
kira
learn
tuh gede. No.
some other
Mic MMIV udah paling gede.
So if you go to the Singapore, you go in Thailand,
Di sebelah kananku ini tuh gak ada suaranya.
and then
Kecil suara. Yang sound ini loh, yang sound tuh yang kerja tuh sebelah kiriku toh, yang kadang nggak ada soundnya Bas. Soundnya cuma bekerja di sebelah kiri, yang kadang ini nggak ada sound, nggak ada suara.
sama ekspektasinya pasti banyak sama dari anaknya dari nasinya juga ada. So, memorization is something as simple as this. And today, we are going to learn how memorization works. Okay? So, ready? Oh, so, yeah, because we are going to learn from the book. So, yeah, let's get beginning. Are we ready, guys? Just now. Ready?
Bisa.
Yang mungkin suka main game.
Ini belum bisa.
Sebenarnya yang suka main
Ini iso dong, nggak iso kan? Zoom iso nggak? Zoom. Belum. Ini iso zoom.
Yang suka Genshin, kalau main Genshin versi Inggris sama versi Indonesia? Inggris, yakin? Ya? Nanti kalian bisa tanya, because there are many different things, many different facts, interesting facts in Genshin. Yang suka banding-bandingin Genshin pasti tahu maksudnya. Jadi suka lihat komennya orang. Komennya sangat colorful ya kalau di mobile ya. Ada di sini, jadi kan di suggestion. What play games? Girls, do you like playing games? What is your favorite? One of my favorite is the Legend of the Games. I also like so I like playing football baby. So kan Inggrisnya pasti tahu ya. Oke, biar ini. Oke, ya saya sudah selanjut sekilas ya. Jangan cari ya. Okay, guys, really apologize for this. But the thing is that we cannot solve the problem. So this is Zoom meeting, and we will be sharing the link with you soon. Ya, selanjutnya akan saya sharing link Zoom-nya ke kelas-kelas. Silakan kalau kalian join di sini. Mohon maaf kalau tidak nyaman ini, tapi mungkin kalau silakan join satu device bisa dipakai di bawah.
Aku udah join.
Okay, I will be sharing the documents.
because nanti kayak enak pas oh anak-anak udah join.
Okay, yeah, Pak Lutfi, thank you for waiting for us. It seems that wait a minute, please. Yeah, Pak Lutfi, thank you for waiting for us so patiently. We apologize for the inconvenience because it seems that we cannot solve the problem in time. So the student will be joining on with you online. And
Thank you.
then maybe in like maybe 5 or maybe 10 minutes, we can start with the discussion. Will that be okay, Pak Lutfi?
Okay, that's okay, Bu.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Iya, nggak ada loh di ini. Berarti, berarti emang Pak Lutfi dia.
Gimana? Udah join semua? Oke. Kalau ada yang mengalami kesulitan join dengan device-nya, bisa bergabung dengan temannya. Dan nanti saat ada electric ticket, Anda bisa ngisinya secara bergantian. Oke? Bisa untuk segera join ke link yang telah dikirim. Kalian belajar ya. Jadi yang ini diharapkan kalau dia
Pak, kamera sing tengah iku tolong ring ke sono ya, Pak. Paten ono. Tengah. Iya, sing tengah. Iya. Zooming. Coba ya. Nah, kita samsara ya. Dengar kan? Ya.
Ya, Pak Lutfi, bisa dimulai.
Oh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. This is the second time I was invited here in UNESA. The last time was 2 years ago. Is it clear? My voice is clear? Tak tutup deh. Can you hear me? Okay ya. Okay. So in 2013, 2023, I'm sorry, I was invited to share about games in English teaching process. Now, in 2025, I was requested to talk about game localization. Yeah, let's talk about skill issues. Yeah, if you are a gamer and then you love translation, it's a perfect job for you. Yeah, you can play while translate something. Yeah, okay. Let me start by enticing you about the prospects of video game industry. Yeah. If you check on statista.com, you will find out that this year, yeah, the industry growth was projected to yield, yeah, around $500 billion. Yeah. And Indonesia is contributing 4 billions, yeah. And it's a good number indicating that game industry in Indonesia is healthy. When game industry is healthy, then game localization, yeah, is healthy also, yeah, to some extent. What makes our industry in game Indonesia healthy is because first, we have already had an association, AGI, Asosiasi Game Indonesia. So game is no longer something that, yeah, people think bad or stigmatized as something worthless because it has been appreciated by many scholars and even the government, yeah, supports gamers. Yeah. Even in Indonesia, starting on 2016, we have an official day of Hargai, Hari Game Indonesia. If you are a gamer, you can celebrate Hargai every August. It's an official day to appreciate games. And it's even healthier if you check the census, yeah, done by AGI, that the growth of game studios in Indonesia are somehow rapidly increasing every single year. If the game industry is growing, then any activities, yeah, vocational activities, including localization, insya Allah will prosper also. Okay. So if you are a gamer and then you are graduate from English letters and then you love translation, this is the perfect job for you. Game localizer. Yeah. And if you check, yeah, this past 5 years, triple A games, yeah, triple A games means that the game 1 million triple A games, ya. Berlaku bahasa Indonesia. One Piece Odyssey. Yeah, you expose that triple A game. When we talk about localization, let me start by talking about the case of Frank Dietz. Yeah. Frank Dietz was a senior localization specialist. Yeah. He ever with good translation skills. When he applied for a job of game localizer, somehow on his letter, he stated, or perhaps Asia, I have never translated a computer game. But how difficult can that be? Yeah. This case appeared in 2007 and has been discussed by a lot of localization specialists that somehow when you have translation skill, it's not enough. When you try to be a game localizer, you need to at least know basic knowledge of gaming. That's why if you love Genshin Impact, Mobile Legends, Wuthering Waves, or others, yeah, to become a game localizers, yeah. Playing game is fun, translating it is more fun, yeah, okay. Now let's discuss from scientific perspectives. Localization, yeah. Give you understanding it to some extent. Let's check. Before we check the dialogue, let's check the title. Yeah. The source text, the source title was called Buff Knight. But when it was localized into bahasa Indonesia, it was localized into Jagoan Jones. Buff Knight was localized into Jagoan Jones. Jomblo ngenes. Ya. From the perspectives of translation, it's not accurate. But from the perspective of localization, it's very accurate. The culture, the culture of. And then if we take a look on the dialogue, yeah, the short text says, no rain today. Kenapa hari ini nggak hujan sih? Mau makan Indomie pakai bakso padahal. From translation perspective, it's inaccurate because hot cocoa was transferred into Indomie. But from localization perspective, it's very accurate. Oh, Indonesia tend to consume Indomie in order to somehow make the form. Yeah. This knowledge of culture is important in localizations because domestication is the ideology. Yeah. And then when we discuss further about localizations, you can check the dialogue. Yeah. The dialogue box of the source text is different from the dialogue box on the target text. In order to deliver the messages, yeah, in source text, there is a visual modifications on the dialog box. In elongate or enlarge dialog box in order to somehow deliver the message. So the characters will not somehow breach the dialog box. Because when we talk about translation, yeah, in localization context, the localization is restricted. If we learn subtitling, dubbing, we all know that they are limited, yeah, restricted. Subtitling is limited or restricted by characters. Dubbing is restricted by lips movement. And video game is somehow is more restricted by characters, the numbers of characters. That's why there should be carte blanche. There should be creativities in delivering the message, yeah, whether changing the visual modifications, yeah, changing the dialog box, changing the fonts, changing the font size, or somehow making a modification on the textual elements like abbreviating the textual elements or mediating. That's why creativities are required here. So localization somehow gives you challenges in first how to adhere the translation in cultural context in the target culture. Second, how to deal with the character number restrictions. Yeah. For example, this one from Brawl Stars by Supercell. As you can see on the skills, yeah, the super, the short skill is out of frame. And then because the localizer wants to somehow make the localizations accurate into lompatan interdimensi, as you can see, the font size is changed. The font size is altered. In localization, we call it lettering, ya, changing the font size. This is another example, Gods of Rome. As you can see on the example, fight was localized into bertarung because bertarung has more characters than fight. Then somehow the dialog box was ballooning, yeah, was made into balloon, was ballooned, yeah, was changed its visual. This is a common practice in localizations. The translator needs to give suggestions whether a certain text needs to be visually adjusted or not. Yeah. Now, this one, let's do some quiz, yeah, to make this discussion interactive, yeah. If you're a game localizer and then you were asked by your project manager to localize parents, what will you do? How would you translate it? Parents consist of 7 characters. P-A-R-E-N-T-S. You need to localize not more than 7 characters. What will you do? Anybody wanna somehow share the answer? How would you localize parents? Considering the cultural aspect and the restriction aspect. You can share it via comments or directly somehow share your thought. Anybody? Parents in what would you localize parents into? Make sure that the translation is not exceeding 7 characters. Anybody? You can share it via chat. Okay. Ortu. Wow, that's nice. Okay. Anur Rohimah. Yeah, that's beautiful. You have a talent to be. Yeah. That's beautiful, Anur Rohimah. Yeah. It's true. The localizer chose Ortu. Somehow, this strategy is called a bridge, yeah, to make an acronym. It is acceptable. It's beautiful. Now, become a game localizer. Person skills, translation skills, subject-specific knowledge or game literacy, transferable professional skills. What we discussed today is number 2 and 3, ya, translation and game literacy. Yeah. It's important. Even right now, games are considered literary works. Yeah. Ergodic literature, that's the name of the games for literary works. In order to give you more understanding about game literacy, let's discuss this case. Yeah. This was screenshot from Marvel Spider-Man 2 from Interactive Entertainment.
Miles Morales, the Spider-Man, on the Swords game has a skill or a jutsu. This Venom Punch. Venom Punch. And then it was localized into tinju sengat. It was localized into tinju sengat. Venom Punch, yeah. The phrase Venom Punch, to some extent, is creating a little bit confusion. First, if you play first game, yeah, Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, the first one, you will notice that somehow, or you can somehow read the comics, yeah. There is a character in the movie, for example, by the name Venom, the symbiote, yeah. The one that somehow merged with Spider-Man. Now, there is a question whether this Venom, yeah, is an allusion of Venom the symbiote. Allusion in literary works is a literary device in which certain object makes a reference to the other object. Now, there is a confusion whether this word Venom refers to Venom the symbiote. Second, whether this word Venom refers to the actual venom of actual spider. This creates confusions, yeah. That's why in order to avoid the confusion, the localizer localized Venom Punch into tinju sengat. Tinju sengat, yeah, is perfectly aligned with the visual. When Miles Morales, yeah, activated Venom Punch tinju sengat, the enemies will be electrocuted, yeah. Somehow electric shock will give damage to the enemies. So the focus of the localizer is on the mechanical aspects that somehow the tinju sengat could electrocute the enemies. This is an example on how games, yeah, need a literacy, because games are a ludic text. It is ludic text because games consist of two aspects, yeah. Mechanical aspect, how to play the game, yeah, and then narrative story of the games. Venom Punch might have mechanics which refer to Venom, the Venom, and which refers to narrative, the Venom symbiote. So the word Venom might refer to Venom the character or Venom the ability. But somehow it was localized into tinju sengat, which does not have any reference to the Venom the character. Yeah. And this is the literacy. The localizer understands well that Indonesian gamers tend to ignore narrative aspects of the skills. Yeah. For example, in Naruto Rasengan, it will not be translated. Yeah. It will only be given information because it has narrative alignment. Yeah. So that's why when you localize a game, you need to know whether certain texts have narrative or mechanical aspects. By choosing one of them or keeping both of them will somehow guarantee the accuracy of the localization. Now, game literacy consists of 5 aspects. Game culture, gameplay experience, game genre, branding issues, and platform terminology, and game development process. Now let's talk this one by one. Game culture, for example, this one. It was taken from Doraemon, Friends of the Great Kingdom. As you can see on the screenshot, the one saying "Hello Nobita" was called Sari. Sari. A very Indonesian name, Sari. The short in English is Sally. Yeah, Sally, Sari. The Japanese perhaps also refers to Sari, which refers to Sally, but I do not know for sure. I do not play the Japanese game. And this is unique. Yeah. Sari and then Sri. Somehow the translator, yeah, the localizers understand well about Doraemon. In Pak Harto's era, yeah, in New Order era, if you check old Doraemon books, you will find out that Jaiko was localized into Ratmi. Jaiko was localized into Ratmi. And it's accurate because the localizer has references. And now the game localizers follow the footsteps of the comic localizers by preserving, yeah, Indonesian culture. Sali into Sari. This is game culture. Yeah. Another example, Rockman X was localized into Mega Man. In the source text, yeah, the character is called Rockman, Rock, because first he has a sister. Her name is Ro. So the maker, yeah, Keiji Iram Inafune, wants to somehow evoke rock and roll atmosphere, yeah. So that's why the character's name is Rock and Roll. But somehow, when it was localized into English for North American markets, it was localized into Mega Man because the localizer think that rock is not indicating or is not projecting futuristic nuance. The game is about robot, about Reploids, yeah, humanoid robot. So in order to make it more futuristic, rock was localized into Mega Man. This is an example, just like previously, Buff Knight localized into Jagoan Jonas. This is game culture. We need to know game culture. Yeah. Gameplay experience. How you as a gamer are expected to enjoy the games. Different culture has different gameplay experience. For example, Buff Knight, yeah. As you can see on the source text, yeah, there is no feature of lottery. There is no feature of lottery. But when it was localized into Indonesian market, it has the feature of lottery. Because Indonesian gamers tend to somehow want to complete the game as fast as possible. As fast as possible. Yeah. Some years ago, Google, yeah, made a survey, and then the survey revealed that first, Indonesian gamers mostly only wanted to buy free, download free games. Yeah, they only wanted to download free games. Second, only 3% of the Indonesian gamers wanted to buy in-game purchases. So this knowledge about game cultures, yeah, is a necessity for game localizers in order to adjust the experience. If you play a game without lottery, the experience will be different from a game with lottery. Somehow, perhaps you can finish or complete the game faster with lottery option. Nowadays, we have gacha. Yeah. I do not know whether the source gacha is different from the target gacha in Indonesia. Yeah. You can make this as your skripsi research discussion topic. Yeah. Okay. Game genre, for example, this one, Coffee Talk. Game localizer should at least know the basic knowledge of game genre. For example, you will find this kind of icons mostly on visual novel game genre. You can forward the dialogue. Yeah, you can somehow save the dialogue and make it into log. And this kind of terminologies are important to comprehend. Different game genres will have different terminologies. And if you are already familiar with the terminologies, the process of localizing will be much somehow easier to do. But if you somehow dislike games and then you want to apply for game localizer, then you need to learn it first, and somehow it will be time consuming. Yeah. As you can see from Coffee Talk from Toge, ya, forward was localized untuk percepat. But somehow the box is not sufficient, so it has to be cut apart, which reduces the quality, but does not reduce the quality of the message. Some games have real people. This is also visual novel. Some games are actually movies which somehow was transformed into games by having some choices. For example, in this game, yeah, this game is having a local value. Okay, it has choices. Different choices will end up in different ending. To know this kind of genre, yeah, how this genre works is really important for game localizers. Yeah. Branding issues. Branding issues refer to how the game, yeah, is crafted and how developers want the games, yeah, to be known by the players. For example, this one. This one is a game based on historical facts with some fictional settings and events. Yeah. It is categorized into visual novel. As you can see here, there was a historical figure by the name Aryo Penangsang. He said, "Oh, hearken ye, Pajangis. Have you grown a tortoise shell on your back? Come out and face me." As you can see from the dialogue, Arya Penangsang, yeah, is employing archaic language, archaic English, or Elizabethan English, using hearken ye, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. This decision is made because the localizers want to preserve the nuance of aristocracy, medieval nuance. Yeah. That's why the selection is somehow localizing from Indonesian to English by employing Elizabethan English. Yeah. Now, questions. Anybody knows the name of the Chris? Yeah, wielded by Aryo Penangsang. Yeah? You can share it on the chat or you can speak it directly. The name of the Chris? Yeah. FBS Unesa. Okay. Yeah. Diva. Okay. Keris setan kober. Or, yeah, that's beautiful, Diva. Keris setan kober. Or, the complete name is Brongot setan kober. Yeah, Brongot setan kober. I interviewed the localizer. Yeah. What Brongot setan kober was localized into English in Demon's Fire Wheel. And then he told me an interesting story. In order to localize this single item, he had to visit an empu in Museum Keris in Solo, ya. And then the empu told the story of Brongot setan kober, ya, for 2 hours. Okay. Brongot setan kober, ya. First, whoever wields this Keris, yeah, somehow, if the faith is not strong enough, the demon inside the Keris will possess, yeah, the wielder. So someone needs to have strong faith in order to control the demon-possessed Keris, yeah. And then number 2, it's called Brongot because historically, when the Keris touches skin, the skin will leave a scar, burning scar. Yeah. Though it's not showing any fire, but whenever the crease touches skin, the skin will be burned. Yeah. And then number 3, cover to some extent, yeah, is equivalent with will, yeah. A crease has a will, the owner has a will, so the will needs to be compromised in order to wield the crease. Departing from those historical explanations, then the localizer localized Brongot Setan Cover into Demon's Fire Will. This is unique. When you play the game, the fire is visualized, but in reality, there is no fire. Yeah. This is just one of the things that localizer did in order to ensure that the localization might be accepted. But the problem with the localization from Indonesia to English is that we need to have somehow localizers, native localizers, which are expert in weaponry. Yeah. So it's not just directly localizing it. Yeah. That's the hardest part. Another example, this one. This is also a historical game. The background is in Majapahit. The characters are Dharmaputra, the 7 servants of Raden Wijaya. The focus is on a character by the name Semi. We usually listen to Rasemi, Rakuti, Rawedeng. It's Semi. Ra is a title, Kingsman. As you can see here, the source text is in bahasa Indonesia. Mendiang Prabu Kertarajasa, lihatlah kerajaanmu sangat besar dan makmur sekarang. Then somehow the project manager is asking her team to consider whether the localization should be in modern English or Elizabethan English. Let me show you the raw file, the raw file. Okay, this is the raw file of localization specialist. It's usually done in Excel before being transferred into programs. As you can see here, there are 2 columns, modern versions, Elizabethan version. By having this kind of somehow process, the job is tiresome, because you need to localize it in modern English first, and then somehow you find the Elizabethan versions. For example, but I'm worried. This prosperity has made some us forget your struggles, yet I do fret, blah, 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 blah. This is time-consuming. Ironically, this time-consuming activity, does not yield, good money to some extent. Because in Indonesia, there is yet no regulations to regulate fees for game localizers. What exists is regulations to translate general text. This is irony. So we need, as a gamer, to voice this to the government that every types of translators needs a good pay, needs a good regulations to somehow ensure that the payment is satisfying. This is just an example of real, state of localizations, Excel sheet. Another example, Dangers and Demons, or spying on you while you poop, and then it was localized into atau mengintip Nikita Mirjani di toilet. This is unique, How come Nikita Mirjani appears on the Indonesian version? Somehow it's acceptable. Why? Because the localizers preserve the parodic nuance. The parodic nuance. It's carte blanche, creativities. If you play Genshin Impact, you will notice that the localizations of bahasa Indonesia of the main quest and side quests are a little bit different. Side quests, because they are not quite important, the dialogues, the translation of the dialogues tends to be ludified. Ludified means to make it somehow not serious. For example, Paimon kelelep. Somehow the localizer use kelelep, not tenggelam. And then use another slang expressions which are not formal. And this is nice. This is creativity. This is what differs localization from translation. And then the last, you need to understand game development process. There are two models of localization: SimShip, simultaneous shipment, and post-good. SimShip is the most tiresome form of localization. Why? Because the games are not yet completed, but you need already to localize the games. So, for example, the games are planned to have 10 chapters, but it's not yet complete. The only chapter completed is chapter 1. So you need to translate chapter 1 directly without knowing the whole story. So you only know the context of the chapter, not the context of the whole stories. It happens. It happens a lot. It usually happens for a game which is dubbed in short language, but somehow subtitled in many target languages. Post-good is somehow more human, because the games are already completed, and then you are given 3 to 6 months to complete the localization. Though somehow you are given quite some time to localize, it still exposes challenges, especially mental health or perhaps time consumption. For example, Cyberpunk 2077, if you ever played that game, it has 70,000 pages of dialogues. 70,000. Somehow you need to devote yourself truly to localize the game. When we translate or localize a game, it's not called text only, it's called text string, because it is like a string. One translation is wrong, it will influence others, and somehow it will influence the mechanics of the game. And sometimes there are errors, mechanical errors, because of your translation. Sometimes it happens when you break the codes. There are codes that you need to solve with your knowledge in coding, bit coding, and then the translation breaks the code. But basically, what you need is your knowledge in culture, English, Indonesian. Sometimes a game developer does not require you to know codes, coding. In order to entice you with scripted topic in localization, allow me to share some. This is the last part. Some ideas. If you are interested in game, if you are a gamer and then you love translation, perhaps you can do this scriptsy. First, perhaps you can do an LQA analysis. LQA, localization quality assessment. LQA is very different from TQA. It's very, very different. We cannot apply TQA in game context, in game localization context. That's why if you are interested in this topic, you can analyze, for example, LQA on item localizations in Spider-Man. This is good. If you only use translation quality, then somehow cases like Tinju Sengat and then Sari will always be seen as inaccurate. But LQA has different things. Or you can do an analysis on translation strategies or techniques in game localization. For example, I think you have learned about Molina and Albir, translation techniques. In Molina and Albir, they propose 18 techniques. And actually, those techniques could be reclassified into 3 major divisions. Techniques which refer to domestication, techniques which refer to foreignization, and techniques which refer to neutralization. Now you can apply this. Which technique somehow contributes on the localizations of certain games. You can analyze Dangers and Demons 1 and 2. You will find that many adaptations were used, many compensations were used in order to contribute not only to adjust the game culture, but to evoke some comedies. Or game trans-adaptation. There are many games, for example, from Islamic stories or biblical stories, yeah, made into game. Now, you can check whether the trans-adaptations is faithful or not. If it is not faithful, somehow it deviates from the teaching or not. Yeah. For example, there was an adaptation of a story, yeah. The source text says Alhamdulillah. Source text water, and then was localized into Alhamdulillah, we have water. So the localizer inserted the word Alhamdulillah in order to make the game to have Islamic nuance. You can analyze this. There are many games as such, yeah, on Play Stores or Steams, yeah. And the last, you can check mechanics and narratives, yeah. Like I told you before, ludic text, yeah, game is a ludic text. It's called ludic text because it has mechanical aspects and narrative aspects. Mechanical aspects are gameplay, narrative aspects are game story. So every text in the game has this kind of text. Just like Venom Punch localized into Tinju Sengat. Venom Punch might have mechanical aspects and narrative aspects, but when it was localized into Tinju Sengat, it only has mechanical aspect. And this kind of shift is not found in other translation, yeah, types. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you so much. We can continue this in discussions. Thank you, Bu Vidya.
Start by raising your hand. And
We will read them one by one, so Professor Lutfi can answer.
Alright, thank you for the opportunity. So actually I have two questions here. First is how to know whether certain elements should be localized or not. And then second, what if there is no culture equivalent, but if you translate it literally, it might be too long. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. What's your name again, Anur? What's your name again?
My name is Amna.
From class?
2020.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions? Okay. Please mention your name and your class, okay?
So my name is Panza. I'm from 2023 G class. So I want to ask how much salary that localizer make, especially for the beginners. Okay.
And that's such a great question. Maybe another questions?
yeah, you want.
Alright, my name is Diva. I'm from Institute. Let's go. 3, 1. My question is about, I recently played a game, the name is Pamali. It is developed by Indonesian production. Here's I want to ask is about localized that go to global. So in Pamali, especially the scary word like sorry, like kuntilanak or pocong, it is translated to not really scary thing, because in kuntilanak we as Indonesia tends to scare her, but in translated word it is translated as white lady, which means that is it the lady is white or the skin of the lady is white. So for the global player, it is not really frightening. So my question is, how can we as a developer or a producer ensure that the scary atmosphere was delivered truly to the players? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Maybe one more question? Anyone want to raise a question?
Okay, you got one. You can introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Agama Dika. I'm from 2023. So, as a translator expert, how do you view the tendency of Indonesian film translation to over-explain simple messages? What are the risks and trade-offs of prioritizing clarity over brevity in fast-paced dialogue or humorous scenes? For example, like in the English version, a character might say, okay, for example, like in the English version, a character might say, well, that escalated quickly. A delivery a concise, sarcastic remark. But in Indonesia, it becomes, wah, situasinya tiba-tiba berkembang dengan sangat cepat dan tidak terduga. Which while it is accurate, but it is later again dialogue the original punchy humor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the questions. Maybe we'll give some time for Professor Lutfi to answer. Is Professor Lutfi ready?
Okay. For the first question, how to know whether certain elements should be localized or not? Okay. It can be seen from two perspectives, yeah, practical perspectives and theoretical perspectives. From practical perspective, any localization is under the responsibility of project manager. So the project manager will somehow decide the final decisions. From theoretical perspective, there are 5 considerations whether certain element should be localized or not. First, I give you an example of a case from Mighty Final Fight. In that game, in the source game, it has 2 characters, female characters. The names are Proxy and Poison. Somehow, the physical appearances of Proxy and Poison are over-sexualized. Before the game was launched, there was a protest. Why the games depict over-sexualized characters? And then the project manager captured this issue and then decides to re-sexualize the characters from female into male, and then change the name from Roxy and Poison into Billy and Sid. This is taken as a policy because they are somehow afraid if the sale of the game is not met with expectations. So that's the first considerations, cultural considerations. Second, Another example is Resident Evil 5. In Resident Evil 5, the background, the setting was in Africa. The problem is that the main character is white. The main character is white. So there was an issue of, racism. The zombies are black. The shooter of the zombies is white. So the project manager decides to regradate the colors of the zombies, to make it not fully black. So it's not just textual modification, but also visual modification. Number 3, sometimes when certain element is not localized, it's better. For example, in gaming world, there is a convention of jutsu or skills. Skills, tend to be not localized because the names of the skills have narrative and mechanical functions. Just like Venom Punch, the word Venom might refer to Venom the symbiote. If we localize Venom into Sengat, perhaps the narrative elements will be disappearing. So it's not translated. But skill description is localized because it's the information. Number 4, sometimes, because there is carte blanche, flexibility, creativity from the localizer, when the spaces are still adequate enough, they amplify the localizations to make it clearer. For example, if you play Texas Poker, you can check the instruction in Indonesia is much longer than the source text because the space is still adequate. Or, if I'm mistaken, My Sushi Story, in introducing the character, the Indonesian version has longer explanation. But this is practically relying on the decision of project manager. And the last, sometimes, localizing all of the aspects are not good to some extent. There was a game which fully localized everything, including the names of the jutsu and others. And the result was criticisms, heavy criticism. There are certain conventions that only informative parts which are localized. And only something which creates no effects, like Genshin Impact side quest, which can be ludified, which can have cards blanks. So that's why, in reality, if you jump into this industry, make sure that there is a good discussion with the project manager on which parts might create problems when localized and which parts will not create problems when localized. That's for number 1. Number 2, if there is no equivalent, there is no culture equivalent, but if we translate literally, it might be okay. Games, they are bound by restrictions on characters. But the programmers somehow will have solutions regarding whether you want to make it longer or not. If you desire to make it longer, then they will, for example, previously on Fight into Bertarung, they will elongate the dialog box. Or they will shrink somehow, they will shrink the letters, the fonts, or performing what is called as diegetic strategy, like abbreviating parents into R2, or mediating. In Mobile Legends, we have turret, translate into menara, that's mediation. This is an example on how if there is a problem in equivalence. And number 2 is about salary. Salary. somehow, yeah, whenever I talk to game localizers and then we have meeting, then it is actually forbidden to share the exact number of salary, yeah. But in order to give you some understanding, yeah, if you get the job directly from the game developer, the money is good. The money is good. If you can get directly the job from the game developer, it's very good. If you get the job from the agency, it's not quite good. So agency means the game developer gives the text to the agency and the agency gives some parts of the text to you. Yeah. It's not quite good. Yeah. It's bad to some extent if you get the job from the person whom the agency gave the text to. So you are the second sub. So you have a game, and then there is a game developer. Game developer gives the text to the agency. The agency gives the text to certain person. Then you are given the text to that person from that person. So it's very bad. It's bad. You are only given 500 characters or 300 characters to localize. And though the money is based on the number of words or characters, but still it's very bad if you are taking the job from the person to whom the agency gave the text to. Yeah. So make sure that you directly get the job from the game developer or agency. This is why it's strongly encouraged, yeah, starting from early semesters, you created a LinkedIn profile and then try to get some works, yeah, uploading some your game experience or gaming experience. Who knows, there might be employer will hire you as a freelance. That's the encouragement I often give to my students, yeah, starting from semester 4, find a game localization jobs, yeah, so that when you graduate, you will have direct request from the game developer. That's the salary. And then number 3, the word localized in family was translated into English. Okay. Okay. In order to transfer the atmosphere, yeah, in the team of game localization, yeah, the team of game localization consists of project manager, translator, editor, game tester. Yeah, game tester, yeah. One of the jobs of game tester is to ensure that the nuance of the game localized, yeah, has already shared the same atmosphere of the short text. So if you somehow have kuntilanak, yeah, and then you localize it into banshee, yeah, the first thing the game tester check and the translator check whether they have similar cultural features and semantic features. Kuntilanak has long hair, black long hair. Banshee, yeah, okay, long hair, but it's not always black. Kuntilanak has screaming, screeching voice. Banshee has the loudest screaming voice. Kuntilanak is a woman betrayed by her husband or her family. Banshee experienced the same also. Theoretically, if cultural features and semantic features are met, they will evoke the same atmosphere. Yeah, kuntilanak into banshee. Problems arise on the visuals. The visuals of kuntilanak and banshee are a bit different. Kuntilanak always wear white dress. Banshee tends to wear aristocratic dress. Then it's not in line. But changing the visual costs a lot of money. That's why there are things, yeah, that we consider okay. Though actually it's not in line, it's okay because changing visuals are costing a lot of money. Yeah. That's why the focus is on making sure that the cultural and textual aspects or features are met. And then the suggestion from the game tester, yeah, is important. Yeah. If you love playing games, yeah, no life, yeah, you are suitable to become game tester because the job is flexible. All you need to do is playing games all day long, 8 hours. 8 hours of playing game. You can do that? Wow, that's nice. Good money for game tester. Okay. That's the answer. And then the fourth question. Yeah, it's almost the same as the third question. When we somehow localize attacks, yeah, the most important thing is that we know the asset. Yeah. There is a term asset. We have tutorial asset. We have UI asset. We have dialogue asset. We have other types of assets, like mechanical aspects of playing the games. Yeah. Each asset has different characteristics. Yeah. Tutorial aspects, tutorial assets. Because if it's tutorial, then the most important thing is how to make sure that the instruction clear. Yeah. That's why when you play Texas Poker, yeah, they will somehow show a detailed explanation on how to play poker. Yeah, tutorial. Different characteristics will require different treatment. So when it is about clarity or brevity, yeah, it depends on the assets and the availabilities, whether the game development or the project manager are okay with changing the visuals or not, like enlarging the balloon or changing the fonts. Yeah. When you do a localization on narrative aspects, for example, of course, yeah, you need to know whether certain expressions, yeah, tend to have hidden meaning or not. That's why when you are a gamer, it is expected you can reveal the hidden meaning. Because nowadays, for example, yeah, what happened months ago, yeah, in a certain meeting months ago in San Francisco, if I'm mistaken, the team of localization consists of feminists. All of them was feminists. Yeah. Somehow, there was a part of the asset, yeah, in which they put their feminist ideology. Yeah. From the perspectives of localization quality assessment, it is biased. The score is 1. Yeah. It happened by somehow maximizing the space, maximizing the enclave in which the text will be localized. It's clear, but by adding certain agenda, it becomes unclear. So that's why you need to know the assets first. UI assets, user interface. Of course, in user interface, if there are things in which you abbreviated but still be understood, it's okay. For example, if you play Football Manager, and then there is a abbreviation, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. TKN, tekan, it's okay. But somehow, it needs an agreement from the project manager. So, if you decide to become a game localization specialist, make sure you understand the characteristic of each asset. Yeah. Different assets have different way of localizing. the asset. Okay. Thank you. Are there feedbacks or more questions?
I think that's all, Prof, because we have limited time. Before we end today's session, how about we take a group photo first, guys? For Professor Lutfi, please stand by, and for the participant, you can gather and get closer in the middle so everyone can fit right inside the frame. You can fill out the first line too. Wait a minute, Rob. We are preparing the camera. Okay? Okay, everyone, get closer to the middle and prepare your best smile. Everyone, please come closer in the middle. You can also feel the first line. Please. Hello. So everyone can fit in the frame. first pose would be the formal one first, yeah. Okay, second pose. Unesa satu langkah ke depan. Okay, third pose.
Keep on to your base pose, guys.
It's because you're sexiest, hottest pose. Alright, thank you everyone. Thank you Professor Lutfi for attending this event.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for being part of today's session. We hope you learned something new about the Mexican culture.
Okay, do not leave yet. Do not leave yet. Let's wait for the QR code to appear so you can take a photo. You can fill it out later to confirm your attendance. Okay, do not leave yet.
I think that's all from us. Stay inspired and
See you at the next event. Bye. Thank you.
Pak Lutfi.